Hi everyone, it's Jaden, and today we're going to talk about chapters 26 to 27 in The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. This is a Newbery Medal winning book, and I hope that you enjoy these two chapters in this awesome book. We learn about the Mad Woman, and we also learn about the history, a lot of the history of Zan and about Luna, and we learn about Luna too. So this is a really interesting part of the book, so let's get into it immediately. Okay, chapter 26, in which a mad woman learns a skill and puts it to use. So, now, we actually learn how the mad woman, she turns things into paper. But before that, I wanted to talk about paper itself. The papers, if you are one of the sisters, they just never ask, they never read the papers. They're just like, oh, we're just gonna repulp this and make this into new awesome paper so that we can get money. But if you are one of the sisters, would you like to learn about what was happening? Yeah, I would want to do that. And now, sometimes she could see particles, right? She could see like small atom-like particles, and if she really stared, right, she could see. Let me read a few sentences. Then she could see the smaller structures, dust and barb and cells. Smaller and smaller went the details of her vision, until she could see each particle spinning around itself like a tiny galaxy. Okay, unquote. But unquote. Wow, that is super duper awesome vision. Do you think that this is just, madness? Do you think that she's just imagining all this? Or do you think that this is just pure magic? And do you think that she's actually able to do this? I think that she's actually able to do this. Here's another question. Do you think that the Mad Woman herself has magic? And if so, how? And also, she could make that stuff into paper. Wow. And would you like that ability? Would you like to make stuff into paper, or just make stuff into other stuff? Like, if you could make stuff into one thing, what would it be? Like, some people are probably gonna be like, gold, diamonds, money. But okay, what would you choose? And I have a question. No, nobody read anything that she's making. Nobody sees her maps and her words. Do you think that you would have read her maps and her words? Or do you think that you would have just ignored them because she was a mad woman and you would just, repulp it? Like, what would you have read them? Like, honestly, seriously. You're a sister, you're one of the sisters of the star. You only know that the woman is mad. You don't really, you're under that control of the mad woman. So think about it like this. So, think about this as the pet sister. Think about this as the sister of the star. The head sister controls everything, like this. Sister has sister eating all the sisters of the star. I'm not saying that she actually eats them. I'm just saying that metaphorically that would probably happen because she controls everybody. So maybe she gives orders not to read the mad woman's words. So yeah, would you have actually seen them, or would you have just followed orders like you're supposed to? Now she can make things into other things, like silk and boats and anything, right? A lot of things. Would you like that power or not? And even she could even see herself, right? She could even make herself into stuff, right? So would you like, and if so, I have a question. Would you like to become a cricket or a spider or an ant or a water bug or a cockroach or a bee? Would you like to become one of those things, or do you think that it would just be too, crazy and you wouldn't want to do it? I think that it would be too crazy for me. And why do you think that she hasn't escaped yet, right? She could just turn into a beetle, climb all the way down the tower, and turn back into herself and then go. Why do you think that she's never thought of that? Do you think that's because she thinks that something will eat it? And that's possible if you think about it, because, anything can happen. And because anything can happen, what if there's like some bug-eating animal hopping around the forest? But still, why hasn't she escaped? She could go anywhere and she could get her own food by, like how bugs eat. I don't know. She could steal food from people's tables, even though that would be dangerous. At least she wouldn't be locked up, right? And it would be also pretty good because, she can find Luna. So why isn't she doing this? Is it because she's mad and she just doesn't have reason? Or do you think that this is just because it is impossible? What do you think? And now she turns into a beetle and she gets onto a boy's shoelaces, and now the head sister is like, come on! And now we have a conversation between her and, of course, Gerland. Oh man, this is gonna be a lot of trouble. Oh, so this is really good for spy work. And now, how old do you think Sister Ignatia really is if she's calling the Grand Elder Gerland a young man? I think that means that, I don't know, maybe she's like 500, like thousands of years old. Maybe like how Glurk or Zan, they're really, really, really old. Like Zan's 500, Glurk, I don't even know how old he is. But whatever the case, if that's so, it's maybe Sister Ignatia, she feeds on sorrow, so maybe she's also like a witch, and maybe she can also live that long. But even Zan ages, so yeah, at least she probably does it really slowly. So why do you think that she's not why do you think Sister Ignatia isn't aging that quickly? Also, do you think that the sister, she seems like she's starving to death, right? Because she doesn't have a lot of sorrow. Why do you think that she doesn't have a lot of sorrow? Mostly, I don't know. Maybe it's because, how mostly there are people who, everybody who, the next kid to be sacrificed, that family's probably really, really, really sad, and that probably gives her a lot of sorrow. But I think she's happy because she knows that that auntie's gonna solve something, so that takes away a considerable amount of sorrow, and which is pretty sad. And also, the mad woman is blocking her sorrow from getting to Sister Ignatia. That's another thing. And that's all factoring into her paleness and her hunger. Do you think that, and could you believe that Gerland is plotting on killing Antane, his own nephew? Can you believe it? But he's doing it for his reputation, right? And for things like that. And what do you think that Gerland deserves? Well, now he's a plotter for a murder, so he should really go to jail for a lifetime. seriously. And since he's tried to kill like at least 50, 60 people, and I think that maybe, and he's been okay with Sister Nadia and all that. I think that really he should really have a big punishment that's maybe even worse than jail. What do you think? What do you think that his punishment should be? And do you think that the head sister, do you think that she will succeed in killing Antane, or do you think that Antane's going to be saved, or do you think that Antane can protect himself? But if the head sister really is a witch, Antane doesn't stand any chance against her, which will be a big problem. So, Sister Nadia is a little happy because at least the Grand Elder has some sorrow, putting some food into her stomach. And do you think that the Grand Elder knows of this, or do you think that he's clueless? I don't actually know because they don't really discuss it. It's Sister Nadia, but I think that Sister Nadia doesn't really talk about it, right? But I think that he does sort of know, especially because, when she called him young man, he didn't really retort. He didn't, raise his eyebrows or anything, like he sort of knew. Or maybe that's just how or maybe he just thinks that that's, how Sister Nadia talks. Whatever the case, they're on something. And do you think that the mad woman can somehow stop it because she listened to the conversation? Or do you think that she can't stop it? This is going to be a big problem. Chapter 27, in which Luna learns more than she wished. Have you ever learned more than you would have wished to learn? Sometimes, I guess, but mostly not. Yeah, mostly, the more I learn, the happier I am. So, the papers tell Luna of a story, right? And would you like it if you could talk to paper? Yeah, I would, because conversation with the characters would be awesome. But also, I think that would be really amazing because the book could be like, hey guy, hey dude, did you know that blah 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 blah? And it would sort of be pretty cool to be able to talk to a book. I could even ask it like where it was printed and all that. Maybe it'll offer me extra information about the author. Actually, no, because even if the book had that book, like whatever book it is, probably hasn't come from Adam Gidwitz's desk, okay? And yeah, I remember like Adam Gidwitz. That's just because that's one of the authors I'm right now reading about, so just came into my mind. But whatever the case, that author didn't come from, that book didn't come from that author's desk. And that is the thing. Because of that, the book only knows the things that are printed on its pages. Nothing more. Still, it will be pretty cool. I could ask about its carbon footprint in the world, and I could ask it where it wanted to go, if it wanted to get recycled, or if it wanted to get donated, or if it just wanted to get kept, or if it just wanted to be on my bookshelf. That would also be really amazing. Now, when you were reading that story, who did you think that little girl was? I was already guessing that it was Zan, but when the papers actually said Zan, were you pretty shocked, or did you sort of figure it out? I sort of did because of the Sazimos. That was sort of a clue. But if you have Luna, do you think that you would have do you think that you would have believed the papers, or do you think that they would have just been lying? I would have believed them, but barely. I would have been like gasping. I'd be like, what? And the Sorrow Eater. There's a Sorrow Eater in the whole story. Oh man. And the Sorrow Eater's power grows. And who's the Sorrow Eater? Sister Ignatia. Oh, could you believe that? When you learned all of this information, when you put together all the pieces about Antane, about the Protector, and about Luna, and about now this, we see that Sister Ignatia is sort of like the final puzzle piece. the final thing. And she's probably the person who destroyed everything. At least, the evil witch, right? Not Zan. And now, next time, we're going to find out what happens and what Luna does and how Sister Nadia is going to try to end Anton's life. Okay, this was just great and I love this. Now I have a few questions I want to ask. How did you like the book so far? I hope that you really liked it, because if you did, that always makes me so happy that I introduced you to a new awesome book. And what was your favorite part in these 2 chapters? And what was your favorite part in the whole book so far? Because we have read a lot of the book already. Let's see it. So we left off at about the middle of the story, I think. Let's see. We left off at chapter 27, and there are 47 chapters. Oh, exactly 20 more chapters left. And then we are done with The Girl Who Drank the Moon. I'll see you next time. And, I know that I thought that somebody was going to catch this. I still have a few more questions left. What was your favorite character and your least favorite character? And for predictions, I only have one question, and this is, what is going to happen next? Yeah, you might be like, yeah, well, how should I say? But it's just whatever interests you most. The assassination plot of Anton, or maybe, what Luna's gonna do, or what Zan's gonna do, and confronted with the fact that Luna knows, or whatever the case, or what the Mad Woman is going to do. Whatever you think is the most interesting, or it can be anything else I didn't mention. What do you think is gonna happen in that part of the story? That's all I need. That's all I'm asking from you. I hope that you had a great time, and today we reviewed and I asked you a few questions about chapter 26 to 27. Bye, and I hope that I'm gonna see you next time.